Welcome back. WeArEuS, and this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, in the previous episode, we left off where we were somewhere near the commander's tent. Anyway, I did some extra walking around. There was nothing to really see, so we're going to head straight to the commander's tent. But first, I did spend the Mythic Path points for everyone that mattered. Didn't do anything for Camellia. She's creepy. But of course, only some of us know why that is. She's over in the medic tent, just watching people work. Anyway, so we spent all of the points for all of the people that are in our party, but there is one interaction I do want you guys to see. I accidentally walked into it before. That's Sela. What I'm looking for should be right here. Right here. Ah, there you are, you dashing troublemaker, you. Darine flashes you a self-satisfied smile. Our short acquaintance is coming to an end. Very soon you will depart on your crusade, where you'll scrape by on horrible rations, struggle vainly to fall asleep amidst snoring soldiers, be rudely awoken by the freezing cold, and have to look upon the dour faces of self-righteous prigs. Before you finally perish in the maw of some demon. I have a journey ahead of me too. I've just rented a sailboat in the south. I've also hired an excellent chef and a host of other entertainments. Well, to each their own, I suppose. Darine pauses, and suddenly asks in a more serious voice, "You know, I am genuinely sad to see you go. If it sounds like a mockery, forgive me. I cannot switch off my venom gland on a whim, you see. But you intrigue me. If only we could have spent a little more time together, but of course," Darine grimaces, "not under these conditions. Let the Crusaders and the demons have at each other. With any luck, they'll take this entire sanctimonious spectacle down with them." Now, I chose this one, but I didn't actually read it. I just spammed the space bar and then loaded the game so I'd be able to do this while recording. This is the one I think I want to go for, regardless of the outcome. It'd be a shame to lose someone who's so earnestly dedicated to healing, and such a treat to have around, you know? Anyway, I'll be blunt. You don't intrigue me. Not in the way you obviously had in mind, but you are a valuable companion. You could have stayed in my party. Who? Me? Where? Where? In this pardon me, in this army? Darine offers a doubtful smile. You must be joking. Of course I won't stay. Who in his right mind would trade a luxurious and carefree life for this crusade? In any case, I intend to wait until the army departs. I do love a good send-off. Especially when it is I who is staying and someone else who is heading off to meet a dreary and hopeless end. Sometimes it does one good to ruminate on the unfairness of life. Well, then farewell, Commander. I assume I shall be your most precious memory on this disgusting and exhausting road to the pointless slaughter of battle. Or, if not the most precious memory, then at least the most stirring. Darine smirks before instantly losing all interest in you. Or at least he pretends to. But the inventory screen tells the truth. Let's see. That is actually it for everything. Taken care of. Also, most important to note, Spike growth. Hold on. Despite what the actual description says about this spell, it doesn't have any requirements for casting. You don't need the ground to have grass on it, as far as I'm aware. I cast it here before I finally turned the game off, and it worked. I tried casting it on ground that didn't have grass on it, but that really wasn't much of an option. Then I tried casting Entangle, then casting Spike Growth on top of Entangle. They were two separate spells, so Spike Growth just works. So I guess most of this stuff here is just flavor text. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So I may, as a matter of fact, it's on the highest tier, 3. Oh, we do have 2 of those. I can't rest. That's right. So I have 2 of these, but I'm thinking, since I don't need... That is a lot of goddamn spell slots. Hold on. I'm trying to predict all of the situations under which something I can cast might be useful. I've added Aspect of the Falcon because, well, he's going to be using his throwing axe. Despite him having 60 health, he's not very tanky because his armor class is so low. Fairy Fire is trash because it's subject to the target spell resistance. Cure Light Wounds is pretty bad. Well, I say pretty bad, but I've added 2 of them. Summon Nature's Ally 1 is doo-doo. In fact, summoning in general, where you can't control the creature, is garbage, because their AI is not... Their AI is AI. Nevertheless, the reason why I actually came here was to add anything of value. Ray of Sickening, Long Strider, Feather Step. Actually, Feather Step might be useful. Oh, yeah. I also tested the damage that whatever the frick its name was, Spike Growth or something. I tested its damage. Morrow had a field day walking through it. Didn't really hurt him all that badly. But then I was playing Kingmaker, and woo, it just absolutely shredded people. Of course, it was being used against me. And, well, it's rough terrain, so it added up pretty quickly. But Entangle, I don't think we need this. But I also can't think of what else could replace it. And I could go with another Snowball, I guess. More damage, why not? This one, they're all full. I went with the Acid Spit because it blinds. I also went with this. I don't have the ability to penetrate immunities. At least not yet. But that's coming. Soon. Anyway. We can't rest right now because we need to head to the commander's tent, which should be this way. Also, make sure you guys head to Irbeth and Anevia's tent because there's some really good armor there on a stand just like this. As a matter of fact, I need to check that armor out. Right. Now, as for the lightened harness, I can't put it on Mr. Ed because, well, he doesn't have the feet for it. Which sucks, because I've already used the reset once, which means I only have 2 more uses for it before I have to pay an exorbitant fee of, I'm guessing it's going to be the same as Kingmaker and be 10,000 gold. That is expensive, and we're not going to be doing that. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to be. If they're not masterworks, they're not coming with me. Actually, that's pretty worth it. Oh, good. We get to loot them. Oh. We get to rob them blind, though it isn't robbery. Gold powder. That's all of value there. Ooh. Why isn't anything in that one? What? Oh, this is my chest from the... I'm getting mixed up with Kingmaker, which has me at an inn at the tavern. Right. The Defender's Heart. Good, 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 good. I have to put the light barding away so it stops tempting me. I don't know what to do with this armor, so we're going to hold on to it. Okay, let's do it this way. That can go. Clawgistica. This can stay, of course. It's the heavy mace. I don't need 2 of these. That comes with me always. I like this, but into the box. Morrow can't use bows. Or I'm pretty sure he can't use crossbows either. Lands a hit on the enemy, it deals an additional 1 to 3 negative energy and must pass a reflex saving throw or suffer an additional negative energy damage each round. That is good. Detriment. Let's go ahead and put that away. Think I'm all set. Let me go sell this really quickly, and then we'll come right back. Leoder Hawkblade. My respects, Commander. I hope you will be able to spare me some time after all the formalities. The Queen greets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air with which she just announced the 5th Crusade. The face of the ruler of Mendev appears calm and thoughtful. She has made her move and now awaits her opponent's reply.
Commander, I'm satisfied with the troop review, but I do not expect they will be sufficient for the task. You will have to prove yourself a shrewd leader and hire the necessary troops with the provided funds.
Ooh. Funds?
I have chosen a target for your campaign. And that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the World Wound. The Sword of Valor was kept there, a banner that was once carried by Iomedae herself. Our greatest relic was lost when the city fell. I should make one thing clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol, but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation. A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is kept somewhere within the Citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Its recovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. I hope the task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you, along with the soldiers. A historian, Nura Denduar, and a cleric, Social Danik.
The queen nods to the human man and young halfling woman standing beside her. This one and... Oh, these people just came out of nowhere. Okay.
One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomedae also wants to talk to you. The Honorable Leota, whom everyone calls Hawkblade.
I do not wish to keep you, Commander. The matter I must discuss with you is extremely important, but it is not directly related to the Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with Her Majesty. Therefore, I shall leave you now, but I ask that you seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience.
Okay.
Hi! Listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We are going to show those demons! I'm so tired of sitting in a library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it!
You're going to die, aren't you?
I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd like to speak with you further.
You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're the Knight Commander's people now, his trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Irabeth, you can go too.
Before we get to this revelation, we have to go on. You know what? Since it's probably all going to be voice acted anyway, why not? When we met at the Defender's Heart, I never imagined you'd make the commander of the new crusade.
Some actions may be deemed bold, or even extreme, and beyond those, there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I am not a simple monarch. I am at war with the Abyss, a war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you, I see a chance, and I am willing to stake everything on it. However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the Wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could better fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
Okay, I do have some questions about my mission to retake Dresden.
Of course, I shall answer.
I know how they managed to conquer it. We don't need to go over it. We don't need to go over that. What forces are at my disposal doesn't really matter. Well, the answer to this question is obvious. Plot armor. Unless you can actually fail, that would be interesting. What about long-term goals? Do you know how to get rid of the World Wound forever?
Now you are talking like a real Knight Commander. However, answering your question is not easy. To win this war, we must bar the demon's way. There are a few planar rifts leading to the Abyss across the territory. We call the World Wound. The best specialists we could find have tried to close them on separate occasions, with no success, as you may have guessed.
Naturally.
The World Wound is more than just a chain of portals to the Abyss. We do not understand its nature yet. The methods of rift closure known to magical science simply do not work here. However, we have a hypothesis, and a rather well-grounded one, that we must begin at the source of the problem, the place where the world wound was opened. The main rift lies through the city of Iz and the Threshold Fortress, deep in the former lands of Socorus. We have never managed to fight our way so far and to gain a foothold to allow the Magus to explore the origins of the world wound. So, the next step, after you succeed in Dresden, is an offensive push deeper into the world wound, with the aim of reaching Threshold, the very threshold of the Abyss.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Now, there's something very important I want to know. Did you know already that the souls of angels from heaven are confined in the Wardstone?
I had guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual Celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day, they all vanished, saying that they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iomede's herald erected the first wardstone in Kenobris, and then the others in cities across Mendev. Even back then, I had nagging doubts, but my faith in Iomede easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess after all, not to question her works.
I don't know about that.
Nevertheless, I am pleased that you solved the mystery of the wardstone in Kenobris, and were able to save this gift of Iomede. It was a deed worthy of a Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
The Queen subtly inclines her head in solemn acknowledgement of your service. You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves below Kenobres. I saw the death of an angel called Lariel. Somehow he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven.
Lariel. I knew him. He disappeared shortly before the world wound grew, and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel, even one so righteous and beloved as Lariel. And afterward, matters took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on this special mission. It is so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young, like getting a message from the past. It is sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory, and we rushed headlong toward it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again?
And thus we decide to show her the Covenant of the Inheritor. Do you remember this?
This. I thought this relic was destroyed many years ago. How strange it is to see it whole again. At one time, it gave me hope. I am pleased that this object will serve the Crusade once more.
Queen Galfrey's hand twitches as if trying to reach for the relic of its own accord, but the Queen stills its movement. I had a vision of Iomede giving her covenant to you.
I was young, and did not fully understand the magnitude of the duty that had been entrusted to me. Iomede gave me hope and strength to see me through the trials ahead, and in so doing, she won my everlasting loyalty.
Do you still remember the oath you swore in battle?
Always. No matter how arduous, no matter how dark the skies, no matter how much blood flows from my wounds, I shall stand with you. We shall fight for our loved ones and our friends, for the right to live and die free. We shall do everything we possibly can, and after that, we shall begin to do the impossible. And if the hour should come when our arms can no longer raise our swords, our bodies will become a shield to cover those who still have strength to fight. I, Galfrey, Queen of Mendev, swear this to you. This is my vow.
You withstood a blow from WeArEuS in that battle.
I would proudly declare that to be true, and say that even WeArEuS could not kill me on her first attempt. But to do so would be boasting. I was protected by my goddess. However, I was glad to see that, no matter how great the betrayer of humanity's power, it is nothing as compared to Iomede's might.
Now, I'm looking at this fourth option to hand over the covenant of the inheritor, but I'm pretty sure I gave that to someone, didn't I? I don't remember what it does. Let's just be honest about that. I don't remember what it does if I ever actually saw it. And I really don't want to give it to her. Because, to be perfectly fair, it'll probably do more good in my hands than in hers. But that's only if it's not useless. In a way, you know? I don't want to give her this thing because I don't remember what it does. Okay, I'll tell you what. The idea is to just go ahead and hand it over to her because, well, but after doing so, I can go back and review or load the previous save. I think there's a hard save too. Anyway, go back and load the previous save after creating a hard save from here. And then we can just load the game, see what the relic does, and decide from there if it's worth giving to her because, again, I'm a stingy bastard and it's mine. But I also don't want to play like that, you know? So, I'm a little mixed on the matter. But before I can overthink it, I mean.
Let the Covenant's restoration into my hands be a good omen for this war. I thank you. I shall ask the priests to offer prayers for you, that Iomade may send you strength and fortitude in the coming battles.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, what are you going to do?
Overlooking a spot of insubordination just at the moment. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses at Nerosian and all the other border cities and plan the future of the Fifth Crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander?
Ion Mythic Path, huh? Prepare the defenses at Nerosian and all the other border cities and plan the future. If nothing else, I am curious. My queen, I'd ask that you remain with us. The Dresden campaign is the hope of the Crusade, and the blessing of Iomade that you carry may prove to be decisive in this battle.
What is this I hear? A polite attempt to appeal to the conscience of an old sovereign? I don't know if you realize what you're suggesting. If our enemies in the depths of the wound were to discover that I was with your army, they would immediately send their most vicious demons to attack. They would stop at nothing to be rid of me, and thereby sow chaos across Mendev.
Naturally.
But you are right. I shouldn't be sitting it out in the rear. I am a warrior queen, and a queen of warriors. Yet my fighters have forgotten what I look like. Fine. I shall join the crusade, but on my own terms. First, I shall assemble my entourage and lead the parade out of the camp. I shall catch up with you later, along with a few hand-picked bodyguards. We'll change our armor, and I'll become a knight of a minor order and join the troops incognito. Until we approach Dresden, no one should know I am among you. But before we storm the city, I shall show myself to the troops and join the battle. Let it be a surprise for the demons. I hope you won't complain of my company on the road, Commander, since you were the one who insisted upon it. Do you have any other questions?
No. The task is clear.
Splendid. Ah, yes. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable.
Oh, hold on. I'll just take off my armor really quickly. What? Wait, I'm not into this.
There you are. You received my instruction?
I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your majesty. In truth, I was readying myself to depart.
No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. As you are aware, he has recently been appointed my Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering whom to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Congratulations, Count.
Oh, she is good. She really is good.
It is a great honor, I suppose.
Darren's cool expression wavers, but he seems not to be fully cognizant of what is happening. That, or he is holding himself tightly in check. Ah. Oh, that... You know what? Let's play this fully. What a wonderful gesture. Your Majesty, I imagine our dear Count would have been inconsolable if you hadn't given him this chance to serve the common cause.
I knew you would approve, Commander.
The Queen bestows a smile on you, then brings her gaze to rest on Darren once more.
I had my doubts about whether you were ready for such a responsibility, Count. But your conduct in Kenobris has put my mind at ease. So, you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post. But I trust that you will dutifully fulfill his orders and make a good showing of yourself.
Oh, she is good. She is very good.
Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all of your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the crusade and your faithful service to the commander here.
Jeez, that is a thorough trap. I like it. My perception was not high enough to see that coming.
Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me.
The Count offers a bow, either as a sign of respect or in order to hide his flushed face. Only the barest quaver can be heard in his voice.
Then let's get going. May Iyomade help us.
Okay, so we're clear. I was not timing any of that. I usually have a timer right here next to me, keeping track of how long I've been playing. None of that interaction counted towards the overall length of the video. Yeah, that's fine. So, the video might be a bit of a long one. That said, from now on, videos are no longer going to be 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm going to be splitting them in half. So if this one goes a little too long, well, you know, you'll have another part to look forward to. And I mean, it's not like that's just an easy way for me to make a free video and only have to record one video for the next day, but you didn't hear that from me. Now we have Anevia. What do you want? Anevia sweeps an inquisitive glance over you. So tell me straight, how'd that brawl at the Great Garrison end? I heard the rumors, of course. That's kind of my job, you know, to listen. You've no idea what cobblers the Crusaders say about you. Some say that Iomide came to you and appointed you her herald. Others say that you died, and an honest-to-God's angel is now leading the army disguised as you. Still, others say it was just an explosion at an alchemist's lab, and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. Oh, still others say it was just an explosion at an alchemist's lab, and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. I wish. But you know, you really have changed since the Great Garrison. It's hard to describe, but you've become kind of... Anivia waves her hand, trying to find the word. Charismatic, maybe? More dangerous. I have a gut instinct about these things. If I didn't, I'd already be dead. You're dangerous, Commander, and by Desna, I hope you'll be dangerous to our enemies and not to us. Or to yourself. Let's see. I don't care about any of those questions, so yeah, I've got to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. Just so you guys are clear on where we stand. In the previous episode, where they showed Arilu Vorlesh, she turned herself and her guard, well, some extra demons into guards, who then carried someone into the party or whatever was going on at the market square. Some of you may have known this or realized it at the time. I couldn't quite see clearly, but that was me she carried in. I wouldn't have realized this on my own if I hadn't watched someone else who's also playing through the game. He realized it immediately. I suspected that the person on the stretcher was me, but it didn't make sense, so I just dismissed that and figured I had misunderstood what I was seeing. Now we've got Anevia saying she feels we're more dangerous somehow. This is very, very bad. But hopefully for the demons, and not for us. Okay, so there are other people to talk to, and I don't know where the frick they are. We also have terrible... Who's this? That might have been Kaylessa, I think her name is. Banner, Dragon's Fate. We do need to remember to talk to Erebeth about the scabbard we found. We also never got the scabbard back from... what's his name's brother? For the sword... Radiance. But, yeah. Kaylessa. This is the one. That had to have been her. That just teleported out of here. Now to see what Horgus Worm has to say. Horgus Worm has been expecting you, thumb stuck in his belt. There you all. I've been waiting. As you can see, I've joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but war's costly, and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful, even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe... Horgus shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe you an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are an honest and honorable person. You've clawed your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and you are friends with Queen Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. Morgus tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please, allow me to give you this magic amulet for my humble personal treasury, to mark our future cooperation. Well, he just said why he decided to support the Crusades now. Don't care why he hid that fact, even though I'm pretty sure he already explained that. Alright, I've got to go, buddy. There's more loot. Yoinky, yoinky, yoinky. Oh, Camelia's no longer watching people work.
That is quite a discovery.
Juicy. Okay. An anonymous pamphlet. I spit on the streets of Kennebrez. I spit on its granite walls and its stained glass windows. If tomorrow the ground trembles, splits apart and devours this cursed city, I will not shed one tear. No one here, not a single soul, deserves any compassion. Everyone who lives in this city is a criminal. If there were any justice in this world, every one of them would be hanging from the gallows, Prelate Hullrun and Queen Galfrey chief among them. Ask anyone on the streets what they know of mongrels. The answer will be dumb silence or the lowered eyes of a scoundrel who knows their crimes but doesn't want to think about it. Mongrels. A disgusting name which the residents of the city have given to the brave Crusader heroes who defeated the forces of evil, but paid for it with their health. Covered with scabs and tumors, bloated and gnarled, they were no longer beautiful enough to be tolerated by the very people they'd saved. As a reward for their heroism, the city dwellers exiled them to the sewers and damp caves beneath the city. The author of these words went down there and spoke with them, and I'll have you know that the ugliest of them is more noble than all the paladins of Mendev, not to mention that head-chopping prelate and his murderous queen. And if any pretend that today's city dwellers aren't responsible for the crime of their grandfathers, then I will spit in their face, for the grandchildren of the exiled are still down there, crawling in the mud and eating garbage. And everyone who knows about this and does nothing, and everyone who knows about this and does nothing, and everyone who should know but prefers blissful ignorance, I say they're all guilty and they repeat the same crime every day. As long as this doesn't change, any citizen who desires to fight a demon should take a knife and stab themselves in the stomach. For your city already is rotten, and you are no better than the demons. And if anyone will repent and right this terrible wrong, they should turn their weapons on the prudish paladins who preach good but defend an order that flies in the face of justice. Down with the paladins. Down with Prelate Hullrun. Down with Queen Galfrey. Guess I'll go ahead and take that. Sound like he's wrong. Falcata that isn't worth anything. Pretty sure I've already checked the... Hey!
Let us press on.
I'll take your junk and your loot. Or... not loot, out of here. Oh yeah. I bought some more of those... what are they called? Oh, purifying solutions. I bought more of those because, well, wait, we do need to talk to Erebeth while I'm thinking about it. Commander, allow me to say something. Erebeth looks even more serious than usual. If such a thing is possible. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Anevia's body, she might be, by some miracle, have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the great garrison and won back the city for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Anevia alive, standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war and in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. Yeah, that's all nice and good, but I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the great garrison. Erebeth looks down. This scabbard held the solemn hour, my family's sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it wasn't stolen. I parted with my heirloom willingly to help someone dear to me. Anevia needed expensive healing, and having no other way to procure the money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. Wait, is she sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into detail. It's a private matter. Suffice to say, everything is fine now. The treatment was costly, but worth it. Hey, I can't blame you. You truly love her. A delicate blush appears on Erebeth's cheeks, and she nods silently. Erebeth lovingly traces the name imprinted in silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it is worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see the solemn hour again, but at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. Well, I have to go. Erebeth says goodbye with a short bow. Hey there, buddy. What you up to? Just wanted to make sure he wasn't suspicious. Outside of the obvious base suspiciousness. Ooh. Actually, I'll take all of it. I like how they renewed all of the loot. I really do appreciate that. I'm glad I was thorough the first time around, too. Did I miss anything? Also, last episode, I couldn't remember what this would be called. Stables. Those are stables. Makeshift, but stables nonetheless.
We march ahead.
We march ahead. Wait. Get back here. Glaive. Not worth it. Maybe we should... Helor. Helor. Ah, that's Helor. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to talk to him. Hierophant the actor, Soundmaster, Grandmother, Rubble Dumb, the twins, Camellia, give her a wide berth. Elan of the Houndhearts. Right, we've got to do that thing for him and find his wedding ring. Sela, maintaining Mr. Ed. Or, you know, just showing him how it's done. For a moment, it looked like she was brushing him. Screw me, I guess. There you are. So, how do you like your new role, advisor? Daran winces. You also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me, a crusader. If my dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson, she managed it perfectly. An assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now with the loveliest songstress and Pytax in my arm. And a bottle of the finest Keonan wine to keep us company. So I'm curious, did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? It looks like it. I genuinely hoped that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Iomade, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine lightbringer of Mendev even had a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. That obscene engraving, The Truth About the Test of the Starstone, is the tamest one by far. Alright, I should go. Socio, right, you. You wanted to talk to me.
I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Kenabres, which is still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke.
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
Who are you and why do you think you could possibly be of use to the army?
My name is Sozio Vanek. I am a cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle, to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves the chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly.
So what are you painting? The cleric's eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird, the symbol of Sheelan. Sheelan or Shaylin? It has to be Sheelan. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple, men and women, young and old. They all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes.
My brothers and sisters in faith, they sent me for help, and then they saved my life, Commander. If the Prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on her way to Nerosian, and hurriedly returned to Kenabres, only to find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal to their goddess and their city to the very end.
Socio touches the edge of the canvas gently, as if patting a friend's shoulder in consolation. This is why you have to treasure every moment you spend with the ones you love. Today you're together, but who knows what tomorrow may bring.
You're right. I took their company for granted and never even imagined that they might just disappear in the blink of an eye. So many words left unspoken. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind.
Wasn't this question already answered in all of these? In the previous 2. Granted, he's obviously going to say something more, but the question itself has already been answered, at least as far as I'm concerned. So, you wanted to discuss something with me, right?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabris behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful. You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
And that in itself is mighty suspicious.
Our path leads on.
Wait, if chapel tent, no, that's not useful to us. Let's go ahead and rest so everyone gets their spells back.
Too bad I didn't know about your village. My friends and I could have left the streets and lived with you like a family.
I'm afraid you wouldn't be welcome there either. You think too kindly of us. Even our tribe had its cast-offs and pariahs.
I will guide us.
Curiouser and curiouser. So, we apparently have 9 uses of grease now. Enemies beware. So, actually, yeah, I want to check one thing. Should be a Nivea. Noir Denduar. Yeah, I've got nothing. I've been in there before already, and there's pretty much nothing but books and some... Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. So some of the loot is renewable, apparently. So, now you guys know, before you go and talk to the Queen Galfrey, loot everything. I don't know about the weapons, but... Wait, where? Yeah, that was their tent. But at least all of the stuff outside, these things aren't useful, but this is. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. I wonder, over here. Oh, it's not him. Staunton, that's his name. Staunton's brother. That's who I was hoping would be here, but apparently not. You have anything interesting? I could go with price. That would have to be in descending order then. Spiked light shield. And you can't even use it, so it's a cold iron masterwork. I mean, that alone is worth it. But I might end up finding one out there, and then I'll be pissed that I spent 800 gold on the goddamn thing that he's using now. Worse still, the one he gets later may even end up being better. You aren't very useful, mister. Okay, so is there anything else? I don't think there was anything in the medic's tent, but we can check. It's chapel tent. I don't want. Also, did you guys see Social? Oh, these things weren't here before. Yoink. Did you guys notice that Social was in the item list or in our party list? Glowing croissant. That doesn't sound highly suspicious. Let's make sure. Pressed I. Let's see. Usable. This is what I'm talking about. Anyway, usable for. No, it won't be there. It'll be here. Radioactive croissants. Seems perfectly natural. I had this on me and I still never used it. It's silly. Under a haste spell effect. Once per day. Anyway. Yeah, we're all set. That stuff wasn't in there before. Hopefully there's more stuff in here. Well, I say more, but I don't think there was anything in here to start with. Vicily. Foreign Autumn Haze. Oh, I remember who he is. He's the one that has a hate on for Kalesa. Kyato, that's the boy that follows him. Right, I bought some scrolls from him. I don't remember what, but I did. Right, I was about to quick save, but then I remembered I wanted to go back and see what the thing I gave the queen did. The elf before you casually rests his banded arm, huh? The elf before you casually rests his bandaged arm on the weapon at his side. He bows his head with dignity. I congratulate you on your new rank, Commander. My hunt demanded that I travel with your army. Naturally, I wouldn't burden your forces with the need to care for an outsider. I've provided myself with all the necessities. I don't think... Let's go through these real quick so they don't... I don't think he's lying about how he perceives Kalesa, but that doesn't mean he isn't wrong. There's something more going on with Kalesa than either he's telling or that he's aware of. So I think that's it. No, there's someone else. There was Social and then a woman. Short woman. An annoying woman. A historian whose name I don't remember. It would have to be her. No, just books. Oh, I was right. It is her. Just books. Just books. Alright, what did you want? I almost quick saved again. Knight Commander, how can I help? There's so much I can do, just ask. Nora looks at you with eyes filled with enthusiasm. She's holding a notebook and a traveler's inkwell. I don't remember the other girl's name, so I'm not even going to bother making the reference. You've probably heard about the wound I have, the one that sometimes opens on my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if it is some kind of demonic curse? Yes, indeed, I've been told about your affliction. Nor appears at the center of your chest. Can you will the wound to open? No? That's a shame. What can you tell me about this wound? Well, it's difficult to say. I know of blades that leave never-healing cuts, of poisons that stop wounds from healing. I've heard of witches' curses that are rewarded with eternal wounds, but wounds that seem to reopen and heal over and over. Perhaps you know of other cases like this? Let's think. In 4671, a Mendevian army corporal had all his bones and cartilage turned to glass. In 4700, a scribe in Canabris had all her skin simply come away like she'd been boiled. And in 4638... Oh! You don't happen to have insects crawling over you? Locusts? No? Rats? Perhaps? Too bad. Nora looks at you with genuine regret. Do you think it's dangerous? It most likely is dangerous, but you're under the protection of Iomade, Commander. She granted you mythic power, as they say. Surely the Inheritors would not leave you to face this alone. Have you perhaps noticed that the wound opens at moments when you waver in your faith? Perhaps it is triggered by doubt. Frowning, Nora looks at you with sincere concern. Well, I thank you for your attempt at giving me some answers. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you anything useful. I'll be sure to study this matter and consult a few of my encyclopedias. I'm going to go. Alright, we literally only have 30 minutes left, and probably 30 of that was already spent talking to Galfrey. Which way is out? This way, right? Past the horses. There it is. Let's at least try to get something taken care of today. No idea why that was a thing. Like, I don't know. Okay, first things first. Let's check the quest logs, see what we have to do. Probably, yeah, this one. Accompany Soziel to the Martyr Zacharias' cemetery. I don't know where that's going to be. Dang it. Right. Let me quickly get this taken care of, and then do this. All right. So I've found out what it is exactly that the thing we gave back to Galfrey does, or did, now that it's no longer in our possession. It was incredible, frankly. And I'm actually sad that it's gone. It gave a +2 bonus to some competency for whatever, but that's not what was worth it. Any ally, in addition to that other effect, any ally within 30 feet of the wearer also had their weapons become good aligned for the purposes of damage, well, ignoring damage reduction. Which, against demons, is huge. So losing that is pretty bad. Maybe we'll see it again one day. I don't know if we need him with us when we go there, or what, but I really don't want to bring him along because I don't want to have to outfit another person. So let's pretend that he's just going to be there when we go. God dang it. Well, at least we're still here. Well, I guess I better read this before we head back in to pick up Social. You can now control armies on the global map. Winning battles against demon forces will provide you with a number of benefits such as resources to help your economy, relics which can be turned into powerful new items for your party, captured enemy fortifications that previously blocked the advance of both your party and your armies. These fortifications can be rebuilt into forts for your own troops. Enemy armies differ in their strength, which is displayed as a number next to the army's name. By hovering over the enemy army, you can learn more about its composition and the reward it is guarding. You can switch between party management and army command modes by clicking the banners at the top of the screen. In army command mode, you can select armies by either using the panel on the left or clicking the figures on the map. Much like your party, armies use roads to move around the map. To move an army, just spend movement points, which can be restored by resting for 1 day. What the frick? A message for the commander. A knight in simple armor lowers his voice. I'm the Queen's bodyguard. She sent me to tell you she's arrived at Camp Incognito as planned. You can find her where the minor knightly orders are camped. Come if you wish to speak to her. I'll be there immediately. Certainly.
Godspeed.
I was going to cut this entire bit out, but, well, that just wasn't an option. Now, the reason I actually came back here was in order to grab this. The light crossbow of Oracle's Misery. This I threw in here because, frankly, it just has an ability that is only useful to someone with an Oracle class. That person was, well, unbeknownst to me at the time, the information had slipped my mind. It was Darren. So, that's weird. I mean, I'll take it, but that's weird. I'll read what the thing does later. Right now, I just want to get out of here. Let's see. This is the one. Sometimes a single word is enough to change the course of history. The commander's words made an impression on Galfrey. The queen disguised herself as a simple knight and joined the Fifth Crusade. The commander should speak to her and learn what he can expect from the monarch hidden amidst her own army. So, yeah. They both say the same thing. I actually can see she's arrived at camp. All right. I still have the timer off, so... Anyway, whenever this +2 light crossbow confirms a critical hit, if wielded by an oracle, the target must pass a will saving throw with a difficulty class of 22, or suffer from the same effect as the oracle's curse gave on level 1 without any of its benefits. That doesn't really do anything because his curse gives him uncanny dodge at the cost of being staggered at the beginning of combat. He's not landing a crit at the beginning of combat. Just making sure it was difficulty class and not difficulty check. What he currently is equipped with is Finian, which is 2 to 11 damage. And this is actually 3 to 10. Plus it's enhancements, so there's that. And it's +2. I can't. It has to be. I cannot imagine this guy being useful in any capacity. Do I even have anything for him to wear? I guess this would work. But I want that back. What is his class? So basically just another healer. I could have left Dayran then and taken Ember. Well, this is where we're at now. Let's get to the cemetery. Oh, we're doing this again, huh?